People always ask me, Steve, what's a day in the life of a guy that bets big and lives larger? Well, I can tell you one thing right now. It's a hell of a lot more than picking games off the internet in my underwear at my fucking house. I have a 40-man staff. I got 40 hungry salesmen that always need something. Somebody always has a problem. Somebody's late. Somebody's dog died. Somebody's sister had a heart attack. Somebody always has something going on. So I get at the office at 7 a.m., do my paperwork, sit around for about 2 hours, then the salesmen get here at 10. That's when the problems begin. One guy's late, one guy's not here. That's when my stress level goes from a 2 to a 4. Stressing out to make sure all my salesmen get here. Get all my salesmen here, then I have a meeting. You always got to motivate the troops. You get everybody around the office, you go over what you did yesterday, you go over the rights, you go over the wrongs, and you go over the formula for success. Because one thing about me, I've never ran a race to lose. So if I'm going to be in business, if I'm going to be in a competitive business, I'm going to be number one. I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I get my guys motivated, I rally the troops, get them pumped up, then I give them the information. I want you guys to understand one thing. Picking games is the easy part. You can have all the winning games in the world, but if you don't have anybody to sell them, your games don't mean shit. You could be the best in the world, have 100 out of 100 games. If you have nobody to give them to, your games mean nothing. I have the best sales force in America. You ask what sets me apart from everybody else? I have the #1 sales force in America. I got 40 guys that are dedicated to getting on the phone and getting the job done. Providing the best sports information available, period. So throughout the day, all I do is get my guys on the phone, motivate them, run spiffs, inspire them, get them motivated to go kick some ass and take names. But all I can tell you is it's so much more than just coming in, picking a game. This is a grind where I work from 7 to 7 and I'm fucking tired. It's a 12-hour grind. Nothing good comes easy. This is the hardest sale in the fucking world. Nobody gets rich, nobody advertises, nobody has enough clients to where they just sit in their underwear and take calls. If you don't have an outbound room, if you don't have a sales force that's dedicated to getting clients signed up and dedicated to selling your service and dedicated to prove you're the best, then you don't have nothing at all. I bring clients to town, I show them the fucking red carpet. I lay it out for them, I get them over at the hotel, I go and meet them, because after all, a voice on the phone is nothing but a voice on the phone. I like to bond with my client, I like to meet him in person, I like to shake his hand and look him right in the eye. Because I'm a real good judge of character. I can look at somebody's soul within 30 seconds, and that's a fact. I like to meet them, I like to go over the plan, and I like to execute. So, you know, it's crazy too, because the clients are never what you think they are. You always have a picture in your mind what they look like, or he's going to be a tall, buff guy, and he shows up at 4'2", looks like a horse jockey, or you think he's fat, and he shows up a 7-foot tall bodybuilder that's ready to whoop your ass. So, I mean, you just never know what ball's going to come your way, whether it's a curve, knuckle, whatever. My job is to stay professional. I always ask the client what they like to do, because 9 out of 10 of them don't like what I like to do. They don't want to go to clubs, or they don't want to smoke marijuana, or they don't want to drink alcohol. They might want to play golf and get a massage. They might be here with their wife and like to go to Elton John and have a professional night, or a 5-star restaurant, or take the wife to the mall and spend $5,000 on a Louis Vuitton purse. Your wife deserves a Louis purse, don't she? Everybody's does. So, you know, at the end of the day, treat the client. I've learned the best way, and I've learned from the best, and my dad told me, you're only as good as your word. If you're not a man of your word, you're not a man at all. And the only thing that I can tell you is I'll live and die by that. You treat your clients, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And I treat my clients with the utmost respect. And that's the way that I continue to be successful. That's the way that I grow. And that's how I get $1 million relationships. And that, my man, is what sets me apart from everybody else. Well, if you thought what you saw on TV was something, you ain't seen shit. Imagine sitting next to a guy that has $100,000 on a game and loses by ½ a point on a last-minute shot sitting next to you. You think you were stressed out over your $300 parlay? How the fuck you think I feel? But one thing about it is there's highs and lows in this industry. One thing about it, it's high risk. So it's high risk, but there's a much higher reward. This is a game for big boys. People know what they're doing getting into it right off the bat. You can easily win, you can easily lose. That's why you got to know exactly what the fuck you're doing. But the day-to-day operations is keep your mind on your money and your money on the mind, and your shit will come out correct. That you can take to the bank. But the most stressful part of my job is when I have a losing weekend. sitting next to a client that comes out with a $100,000 bankroll that loses $100,000 off 2 games in 2 days. The stress of sitting next to him, the stress of looking at him, whether the guy can afford to lose it or not, it's just a stressful thing because I care about my clients. I'm different than everybody else. I put my heart and soul into this shit. I'm not some guy that gives you a game that I'm not betting myself. I have my kids' money, my family's money. I'm betting these games too. So I take it very, very personal when I lose. And I take it very personal when I win. So sitting next to a guy that loses $30,000, taking him out to dinner, dealing with him, going out with his wife, because you can't just lose a game and then not show up no more. I'm a gentleman. I'm there the next day, but there's times where you lose 2 games in a row. You lose 2 games at $50,000, guy lose $100 grand. That ride back to the airport might be a little long every now and then, but I'm blessed enough to where I deal with the most elite sports bettors in the world, so pretty much everybody knows what they're getting into, going into it. So I'd have to say I'm blessed that even the guys that I feel bad about losing, they usually don't feel half as bad as I do, which makes me have the best job in the world, and clients that know what they're doing and knowing that this is a game for big boys. There's a chance you lose. But like I said, as long as you win a hell of a lot more than you lose, you can be the most successful person in the world. Thank you, sports betting. Thank you, Las Vegas. I love you.